Hey Trey, welcome to the WorkPlay podcast.
Hey, Happy New Year. Thank you for having
Yes,
me.
I know. At the time of this recording, you are my first interview of 2025. You're just bringing in the 2025 energy. I'm so excited. This is going to be like such a fun episode. Another episode in our content creator series. Trey, you are a WorkPlay content creator. I'm so excited to have everyone feel your energy, get to know you. Your energy is so infectious. I know everyone's going to completely love you after this episode.
Yay! I love everyone. I'm so excited. I can't wait. Thank you.
I want people to understand who you are as a person. Just give us a short bio on who you are. Where are you based out of? Tell us, like, baseline, who is Trey?
Trey is exuberant, fun, creative, exciting. I'm based in New York. I live in Brooklyn. It's snowing right now. It's typical January in New York. I can't wait to go outside with my camera. It's so beautiful outside. Born and raised in Baltimore, moved to New York when I was 19 to be an actress. I studied theater, very creative. In college, I was singing, dancing, and always hosting things. I just loved being around people and loved like creating experiences. Then once the pandemic hit, everything shut down, theater shut down, no one was casting anything. So everybody in that world were all kind of forced to pivot. I had an interest in photography, but was afraid to go in that world because I didn't want it to distract me from my acting. COVID in New York was a unique time. Everything from people celebrating the heroes, Times Square being empty. There was so much to photograph. I brought a camera and started photographing the streets of New York. Then I was like, this is really sick. This is so cool. These are memories that I can keep forever. That's so cool. And then one thing led to another. Some people saw my work and started hiring me for gigs, events. And then I was like, okay, I'm kind of good at this. That was 5 years ago. And now I'm here. So yeah.
It's so funny because so many of WorkPlay content creators are people who love theater.
Yeah.
I think there's a connection there. I feel when you are in theater, you're already an extrovert. Like, are there any introverts that are in theater? I feel like that's not a thing.
No, the introverts that are in theater are the stage managers, production crew. Actors are extroverts. There are introverts that love the theater world. They'll just choose different positions. You have to be pretty extroverted and insane to want to be on stage. Being on stage is thrilling to me. And only an extrovert can handle that. I can't imagine an introvert wanting to be in front of an audience.
I totally agree. And it makes so much sense. It's interesting though, because you're on stage, right, in theater, but then
Yeah.
when you're a photographer, you're kind of behind the camera and like your
Mm.
subjects on stage. Why did photography kind of pull you in?
When I was an actress, I hated labeling myself as an actress. I always told people that I was an artist and that I was a
Mm.
creative. Acting and photography, it's all storytelling, but in different ways. A lot of actors that I know naturally pivot into some other creative force because that's the bone that we have in us. Photography allows me to storytell in a way that acting didn't allow me to, which is really exciting. Being creative, like having one thing and being able to create something is really exciting to me.
Yeah, I always love that you say storytelling because I think that's what separates good photographers
Mm,
from the rest, right? There are so many people that technicality wise, you can tell they know how to use a camera, but they aren't
mm,
storytelling in their imagery. That is a huge piece of what makes photography an art form. I'm
absolutely.
interested to know, like, how do you storytell in your photography? What's your creative process that makes that happen for you?
So, specifically with WorkPlay members, I do a lot of research on the back end. I look at their website, socials, and I look at the story that they're already trying to tell. But at the same time, there's a why that they're coming to WorkPlay. Usually, that why is for us to elevate them, to elevate their storytelling, to elevate their visuals, and to help them figure out the missing piece. When I'm working with WorkPlay members, storytelling involves a lot of collaboration. After I do my background research, once I meet them, we have a conversation. I ask them, what story are you trying to tell? What story are you trying to convey? Who's your target audience? What voice, what tone are you speaking to? I love WorkPlay so much because the way our creative directors work behind the scenes, they already answered those questions for us. And it's, provided in our content plan. I already know the answer to them, but I want to hear like the WorkPlay members say it too. And then we kind of build upon that. Whatever story they want to tell, create something bigger out of that.
I think it's funny because I do a lot of talking to people who are potential members. I feel like that's kind of my role in the company.
Yeah.
And one of the fears that they have before coming in is, how does the WorkPlay content creator know my brand and invest in my brand? No, you don't understand. Every single content creator is so invested in your brand. I remember someone on the team texted me, I think it was you. You were showing me your notes.
I
I
think it
was
was,
like,
yeah.
oh my God. Or Austin also does the same where he's like writing out. I was like, oh my gosh, like obviously we have systems in place for you to understand the brand before shooting them. I feel like everyone on the team goes so above and beyond. So
we have to, because and shout out to Austin. Austin is another WorkPlay member based in New York. Love him. He's so good. Love him. It's because we're all artists. I'm an artist. In New York, I'm an event photographer. I work nightlife, fashion week, parties. I work galas. I am all about the candidness and the moments. The way I storytell is just very unique to me. I have to do my homework and my research on the member that I'm privileged to work with, because I want to know what their story that they're trying to tell and what their direction is, because it's not my storytelling. I'm just merely a midwife trying to birth whatever beautiful creation that they have. So we have to do our homework so we can create the result that the member wants.
It's so funny because I think that people are so jaded by other companies or agencies out there. And I'm like, no. WorkPlay content creators are on a different level. As a WorkPlay content creator, your job is to elevate the story. Your job to push someone out of their comfort zone to elevate that. How do you push WorkPlay members outside of their comfort zone on the shoot while still making them feel super safe and comfortable in what they're doing as they're stepping into this new level of themselves?
What I do is I always keep in my mind that this is an energy exchange. The energy of the member is going to determine the outcome of the photograph. The number one most important thing on set during the shoot is making sure that energy is good. I had one WorkPlay member that I worked with. I had to put on some music. I asked her what music does she listen to get pumped up and get in the zone. I put that on and then we talked for a little bit and I got the mood right. It was her first time doing a photo shoot ever. She has an amazing brand. It was her first WorkPlay shoot and she was really excited, but really nervous. And she didn't have any friends or family around. It was just me and her. Anybody would be nervous in that position, especially when you're not used to being in front of the camera. It's really us WorkPlay photographers. It's our job to make sure that energy is right. So a lot of us will grab coffee, breakfast for the members at first. We have a 10-minute debrief before the shoot. Sometimes we'll extend that a little longer. I'm a human at the end of the day. You're a human. We're all human. The members are beautiful. The photos are going to be good. The energy has to be right. Those are things that I do to make sure that the members are comfortable. And that always does the trick. That always calms the nerves.
We're both just human beings at the end of the day. I totally get what you're putting down here. What advice would you give to potential members, new members, even members who have been in it for years? What advice would you give them for getting their energy right before the shoot? What kind of energetic prep would you recommend a member to have?
I would definitely recommend spending some moments in solitude, quietness, centering yourself, centering your inner being. If somebody wants to be a potential member, okay, you have a great brand, a booming business. You're already amazing, right? So root yourself in that. If you're a boss, literally. We are mere midwives. We're just helping you create something that you've already created. We're just here to elevate. You've already done the work. Root yourself in that, whether it's meditation, listening to meditation, meditative music, whatever. I would also recommend moving your body for at least 5 minutes, yoga practice, Pilates, or just jumping jacks, something to get the energy moving. You don't want that nervous, anxious energy to just sit there. You want to get it moving and you want to get it out. So once you come on set, you're ready to rock and roll.
Okay, you already know the answer to like how does stress need to leave the body? Here's what needs to happen. Do you feel like you've always been that way? You're into theater. I just feel like there's another layer here.
I've always been that way. I'm from Baltimore, from the inner city. I grew up in chaos. I've always yearned peace. I think that's just why, as an adult, that's been my number one thing, peace and wellness. And it doesn't matter what artistic realm I step in, whether it's theater or photography or whatever, wellness, peace, and mental health is always number one. It's always number one because you need that in order to do whatever you want to do.
I think that's so wise because then you can extend it out to someone who is in something new. And I think when you go into something new, you haven't done it before, you might forget the basics. I love that about you, how you're able to kind of almost like extend that out into whoever you're shooting or the people around you. It's definitely very infectious. I love it.
Yeah.
Tell me more about your craft in photography. How do you kind of stay on top of the trends, being creative? Because sometimes people can look at WorkPlay content creators and be like, well, they're working with business owners all the time. How do you stay inspired as you shoot all of these different types of brands and business owners? How do you ensure that you come to every single shoot just inspired to do something new instead of going into the same motion? I feel like that's pretty easy. I think the average content creator photographer in the industry would just be like, oh, it's just another shoot. I know that WorkPlay content creators, all of them are not like that. So I'm interested to know how you specifically bring that extra to each and every shoot.
I'm really big on culture and community. When I'm not working per se, I'm in my community, group of friends. All of my friends are creatives. Everybody in my friend group, 80% of my friend group are photographers and videographers, and we're all doing different things. I spend a lot of time with them. And they constantly inspire me because they're doing something that I'm not doing. One of my friends is in talks of being a Super Bowl photographer. That's so cool to me. So it's like the rooms that he's in and the people that he's around, it's like, it's inspiring. And because we're creatives and because we live in New York, we're constantly pushing ourselves and just learning new things, coming over each other's houses and having creative days, doing mock product photography shoots. There's a really cool YouTube series called Walkie Talkie. This guy links up with street photographers and walks around New York and talks about the happenings and the trends and what inspires them. And that's usually on as I'm editing. I'm constantly inputting information from everyone around me. And again, I live in New York. All of my friends are from different backgrounds, different families. So when I go to Queens to my like Bengali friends and like, I'm doing something, and then I go to like the Bronx and like my French friends, it's like we're all like pulling from each other. It's just like different cultures, but we're artists. So we're all storytelling and we have different stories to tell. One of my friends is really big in her community and working with shelters and working with children. And like that is really inspiring. It's so different than what I do, but it's so inspirational, So when I go to shoots, I'm a little gentler. I pick up those traits from her. So yeah, that's my answer to your question. Like just constant collaboration. Like with the diversity that's around me. Yeah.
I feel like, we're both like, I think everyone on the WorkPlay team is a creative. Besides Sierra, she can't be a creative. She's like all business. She's like, no, we need to get like deadlines. We're like, okay. We got it. And then the rest of us are just like, yeah, let's look at these cool photos. But someone on the team's got to have deadlines for us. It's just so funny because I think people don't realize when you are creative, the lens at which you look at the world is so different. You're just so interested on the way that things work and how they work and how they're being created. And I think it's just interesting. It might feel normal to you to have all of these different inspirations, but I think for listeners who are more of like the logical person, that is so different for them to hear. So I'm just like, I'm glad that you said that. As far as like culture, you had mentioned like you draw a lot of inspiration from your culture. What does that look like to you? What is your culture that like has really almost like been the foundation for you in your career and how you see the world?
So my family's Jamaican, so we're really big on family, community, togetherness. So in my storytelling, even specifically with like WorkPlay members, surprisingly, now that I'm thinking about it, a lot of the members that I've worked with integrates their family in their business, whether it's their kids or their spouses. So that's a big part of it. So sometimes they'll be a part of the shoots, and then that's like, when you're working with kids, that's like a different voice that you have to like work in, a different tone that you have to work in. And because I work with kids so often in my own community and with my own family, it's just something that I'm keen to, like akin to. And these are the foundations of like who we are, our family, our community. That represents, even if that's not a part of your brand pillars, that is a part of who you are. So it is going to show up in some way. So how do we highlight that? How do we elevate that? Because it's just something that has always just been a part of my life, my DNA, like my structure. It's kind of easy for me to pull that out and note the importance of that. Yeah, wow, now that I'm thinking about it, Lyric, like half of my shoots has been WorkPlay members with their children. It's so like their kids are like a big part of their brand, and it's just so beautiful. I love it.
I know. I think it's interesting because so many people ask us, well, can my kids, like family, can I bring other people into WorkPlay shoots? And we're like, yes, like, of course. You can have as many people as you want on the shoots. And whoever you want, because that's a big foundational piece of someone's brand, right? Just as it is for like your foundation. We understand that that is a big foundation to a lot of other brands, and we service so many women too. Of course that should be a part and shown visually.
Absolutely. And that representation is so important to their audience, like moms, a fellow mom with her kids, we're running this beautiful business with these beautiful visuals, it's inspirational. And as brands, like that's what we want to do. We want to inspire, we want to uplift, and bringing your true authentic self on set, like to your brand, is the most profound thing you can do.
Totally. I totally agree. When it comes to creating these campaigns for these brands, I think a lot of people come into WorkPlay because they're like, okay, WorkPlay gets it from a business perspective, from a marketing perspective. What are you thinking about when you read on an upcoming shoot, okay, this is for this type of campaign? How are you ensuring that the visual content isn't just beautiful and telling a story, but is actually useful for their marketing?
When you're integrated in the storytelling aspect, you can never go wrong, because having just like mere beautiful visuals is just so flat. But when it's rooted in something like authentic, real and authentic, then just naturally it'll have like just a deeper meaning to it.
I totally agree. Okay, I want to do some rapid fire before we wrap everything up. I love rapid fire, but I'm not very good at it. I'm always like, can you please explain your answer? Because I want to know more.
Yeah. Same.
But we'll see how we do. Okay. So basically, we have like just different questions that we ask and try to answer it, but then I might want you to explain. Okay. So your favorite WorkPlay shoot to date?
Ooh. Oh my gosh. Okay. My favorite WorkPlay shoot to date. Her name is Stephanie, blanking on her last name. Her business, like, how is this rapid fire? Like, I have to explain.
I know you have to explain. We're just like...
it's so sick. Like, her business is rooted in like helping corporate women find their masculine and feminine energies. So the shoot was like an amalgamation of like both masculine and feminine energies. So she had on a suit, but like on a pink couch, like it was so sick. It was just so much fun. Like Stephanie, like I love Stephanie. If you're watching, I love you.
I love it. Okay. Your bucket list WorkPlay destination.
Ooh, Ibiza.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Across the Atlantic. I love it. So if anyone's listening, Trey wants to go to Ibiza. We're going to make an amazing WorkPlay campaign in Ibiza. Yeah. Is there a specific reason why Ibiza?
I just love the beach. I went a couple summers ago and I was just entranced by the people there. I thought it was just going to be like Spanish people speaking folks. It was like different languages and the culture was good. The food was amazing. Like, yeah, it's beautiful.
I love it. I love it. I haven't been to Ibiza, but I have been to Mallorca, which I feel like is like not
kind
really
of the same.
It's like the same island group.
Yeah. It is. Yeah.
What is your favorite go-to snack when you are photo shooting?
Ooh, almonds. I
Oh,
love
really?
like salsa. Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're filling. It's like protein, I think. I don't know. There's
Yeah.
salt on it. Yeah. They're
I'm
quick. You just pop them in.
I am always so surprised. I asked Brandon what his go-to, and he was like,
Yeah.
beef jerky. And I was like,
What?
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 And I was like, he's like, but I've never really had it on a
Yeah.
shoot.
I've never seen him with jerky. I've been on 2 shoots with him. He's never had jerky. But
Okay, we need to like call him out.
love you, Brandon.
I love it. Okay. What is in your like backpack when you go on workplace shoots? Like, what's your
Ooh.
go-to? What are you taking?
Multiple batteries and chargers, SD cards and chargers, my go-to lens and like a backup lens, my camera, of course, a bottle of water. Like I have to be
Mm.
hydrated. My almonds, or like maybe like some cheese or something, like a snack. A lens cloth. I have like a little lens kit to make sure like my lenses are always clear. Sometimes I'll have a speaker, like if the client needs music, a little bag of like toiletries in case like the members need anything.
I love
Yeah.
that. Solid
Yeah.
backpack. My last question is, what is your favorite weather to shoot in?
Bright and sunny. Well, that's a lie. Like sunny, but like with a little bit of overcast because like the clouds are kind of like a filter. Ooh, and sunset.
Ooh, I love.
Sunset. Yeah,
Nice.
sunset.
I was gonna say, like, I feel like there's such a misconception that like a bright sunny day is the best day to shoot in, and I'm like,
Yeah,
no.
no, it's
You don't
actually
want the
bad.
sun like right in your face.
It's so
You
harsh.
want the
Yeah, we
sun-
need the cloud to act as a filter for sure.
Totally. Oh, Trey, you are just like an amazing source of energy, of positivity, the whole nine yards. I'm so happy that we kind of got to know you a little bit more. Future members and current members can get to know you even more. I'm so excited. I'm so happy that you're on the team. And I know that,
Yeah.
you just kill every single workplace shoot that you do. I am happy that we got together. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. This was so much fun.
Do you have one last piece of advice before you leave for WorkPlay members before they come into the method or even their quarterly shoots?
Just be yourself, be authentic. We live in this digital world that's caught up in trends and the algorithm, and it's good to be inspired, but stay true to that authenticity, stay true to the story, stay true to your why. And as long as you're rooted in that, it'll be impossible to create something that's not compelling because we are compelling as humans.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Trey.
Thank you, babe. Have a good day.
You too.